Okay, good morning. In the last class, we were discussing about the introduction for the synchronous motors. In that lecture, we discussed about the construction and the working principle of a synchronous motor. And the main point we discussed there was why a synchronous motor is not self-starting. So today we are continuing this lecture. So this is the part 2 of module 4. And here the first topic is vector diagram. In this for a generator, we were discussing about the vector diagram of a synchronous generator, a cylindrical and salient pole generator. So here this diagram is showing the vector diagram of a synchronous motor. So just comparing with the synchronous generator, we can see here the main difference between a generator and a motor is, in a motor we are giving a voltage or we are supplying an electrical input. So a voltage is coming first and a EMF is developed later. But in case of a generator, when the mechanical input is given, an EMF is developed first, e.g. generated EMF, then the voltage is developed across the load. So E is coming first and then V. But in case of a motor, first V is coming and then E. So here the vector V will be drawing first. In case of a generator, we were drawing E here. Then we are drawing V. So E here and V was drawn here. So it is just reverse. Here first we are drawing V and then we are drawing E. Why? Because in a motor first voltage is given, then EMF is developed. So that is the first point you have to note here. We are drawing first V, then E is developed. EMF. Here the EMF is back EMF actually. That means a voltage which is opposing the input voltage. That voltage, that in EMF, an EMF induced which is opposing the applied voltage is known as back EMF. So here the EMF is back EMF. Now the similar procedure, all other things are similar. Here the current IA is lagging the voltage by an angle phi. So this is V and IA is lagging V by an angle phi. Because here we consider a lagging power factor. So if we were considering a leading power factor, then position of IA will be different. But here we are considering a lagging power factor. A power factor is taken as lagging. So the current is coming here with an angle phi. So IA is lagging voltage by an angle phi. And the angle between E and V is known as delta. Here E is lagging V by an angle delta. But in case of generator, E was leading V by an angle delta. So all the leading angles are taken as positive, but lagging angles are negative. So in case of a motor, delta is negative because reference is always voltage. So from here we will be taking the angle. So from here to E. So up to this angle is delta and the arrow mark will be like this. So if the arrow mark is coming, this was in our earlier previous classes we were discussing this. If we are taking like this, that means this is our axis and we are taking an angle to in this direction. That means this is clockwise direction, we will be taking as negative, and if we are taking in anti-clockwise direction, it will be taking as positive. So here it is negative, it is in clockwise direction, means it will be negative. So delta is negative in case of a motor, synchronous motor. Not only in synchronous motor, in every motor, delta, that angle will be negative. But in generator, it will be positive. These points are very minute points, but it is very important because it is delta is just reversed here. Why it is reversed? The basic thing is, in a motor, we are giving voltage first and then EMF is developed. But in a generator, EMF is developed first, then voltage is developed. So that is the basic difference. So here delta is becoming negative and psi In generator it was delta plus or minus phi and plus for lagging power factor and minus for leading power factor, but it is here minus or plus minus for lagging power factor and plus for leading power factor. These are the differences when comparing with the vector diagram of a synchronous generator. And here V equal to E plus Ia into Zs. What was in case of a generator? It was E equal to V plus Ia into Zs. Because here voltage is more, EMF is lesser in, but is coming later. But in a generator, EMF is more, EMF is coming first. Therefore, E equal to V plus Ia into Zs. So these are differences when comparing with a generator. So now the remaining things we know that how we will be drawing. So this we know vector V equal to vector E plus vector Ia into Zs. That means Ia into Zs is Ia into Ra plus Ia into Xs. So from the terminal of E, so we are starting from E. From the terminal of E, parallel to Ia, we are drawing Ia into Ra. Perpendicular to Ia, we are drawing Ia into Xs. And it will be it will be the point which is coming here will be up to this point we are drawing V. So V is the resultant of E plus Ia Ra plus Ia into Xs. And this is when we are drawing a vector here, it will be indicating what? So this will be a 90 degree actually. So when we are drawing a vector here connecting these two, a straight line only, actually it will be the hypotenuse of this rectangle triangle, and it will be Ia into Zs. So this will be actually Ia into Zs. I didn't draw here. This will be Ia into Zs. So these are the things we have to note in case of a vector diagram. Everything we discussed earlier, just compare with those. Here V is coming first, then E is coming, and the angles and all, everything is same. What is delta, what is phi, and what is psi. And all other things are similar, comparable with the generator. So this is the vector diagram. And now we are discussing about the power flow equation. So power flow equation means we have to find the P and Q. These are the two powers we have to consider, active power P and reactive power Q. So we can basically represent the synchronous motor like this. In a generator, the source is E, and the load across the load we are getting V. But in case of a motor, source is V angle 0, and across the load we will be getting E angle minus delta. And the entire machine will be represented with this resistance Ra and reactance Xs, or we can say Zs angle theta, impedance. Now Ia is the current flowing from source to load. Source is voltage, because we are giving a voltage and we are getting an EMF across the that output. So this is the basic diagram we can represent. With this diagram we can represent a synchronous motor. So how we will be getting current here? Current will be flowing from this side to this side. So this side voltage is V angle 0. So difference of voltage by total impedance, V angle 0 minus E angle minus delta by Zs angle theta. So just dividing this. This is in polar form. In a polar form, magnitudes are divided and angles are, if they are dividing means angles are taking the difference of the angles. So V by Zs, magnitude V divided by Zs angle 0 minus theta. So it will be minus theta minus, next term is E by Zs angle minus delta minus theta. Angles will be taking the difference, minus delta minus theta. And to find the total power S, apparent power, we can say this is total power, apparent power. We will be taking V into I conjugate. Whatever the current, the conjugate of the current. So, for what we are taking like this? Because we will be having some sign conventions that you will be discussing in power systems later. Or otherwise, if you have any doubts in that, why we are taking conjugate, I will be explaining. If you are contacting me, I will be explaining that. So V into I conjugate. So here we have to take the Ia conjugate. If we are taking the Ia conjugate means there will not be any change in magnitude, but angle will become negative. Negative of whatever we have the angle, the negative of that. So here V by Zs magnitude is not changing, but angle became theta became minus theta. E by ZS not changed, but this angle minus of delta plus theta became theta plus delta. Negative of minus of theta plus delta, or minus delta minus theta became theta plus delta. Now we have to take what? P plus JQ means V into IA conjugate. So V means V angle 0 into, this is the IA conjugate. So just multiply this V square by ZS into, angles are added. If multiplying means angles are added, 0 plus theta, V square by ZS into angle theta, minus, next term is EV by ZS, multiplying EV by ZS into angle 0 plus theta plus delta, angle theta plus delta. So this is S, total apparent power. Now if you are getting something, some quantity like this, you have to find the real and imaginary part of the total quantity, P plus JQ. P is the real part or active power, and Q is the imaginary part or the reactive power. So if you are getting a term in polar form, what we will be doing? You have to, you just take the magnitude like this only, but take the cosine of the angle, then you will be getting the active part P. For any complex quantity, you can take like this. And if you are taking the sine of this, you will be getting what? Imaginary part. Here it is Q. So what will be P? So this is P plus JQ total. Totally we can say like this, P plus JQ. So in polar to rectangular, you can write like this. And in this cosine part is P. So V square by ZS into cos theta minus EV by ZS into cos of theta plus delta. And what is Q? V square by ZS into sin theta minus EV by ZS into sin of theta plus delta. So these are the equations. These are the exact equations for P and Q. This is very, very important. Two equations, which is representing what? Power flow in a synchronous motor from input side to load side. That power flow, active power flow and reactive power. Now normally in a generator or in any machine, this resistance will be very, very small. In DC machine, transformer, synchronous machine, any machines if you are taking, comparing with the reactance, XS in case of a synchronous machine, RA will be negligible. So here we are taking RA equal to 0. Then we can say total impedance will be equal to XS and theta will become 90 degree. Why? Because theta is equal to Z is R plus J into XS. Theta is tan inverse of x by RA. If RA equal to 0 means tan inverse of XS by 0, tan inverse of infinity. So theta equal to 90 degree. So if theta is 90, what will be P? P equal to V square by ZS means XS. Here ZS is XS. So V square by XS into cos 90, which is equal to 0, minus EV by XS into cos of 90 plus delta. Cos of 90 plus delta. What is cos of 90 plus delta? Here, this is A, S. Here sine is positive, all others are negative. Cos of 90 plus delta means minus sine delta. So totally we can say P equal to EV by XS into sine delta. What about Q? Q equal to V square by XS into sine 90 is 1 minus EV by XS into sine of 90 plus delta is cos delta. So this totally it will become Q equal to EV by V by XS into V minus E cos delta. V minus E cos delta. So these are the two simplified equations. This is exact equations. If you are taking RA equal to 0 and theta equal to 90 degree in these equations, we will be getting like this. So these are very important actually. We are usually using these equations. This equation for P and equation for Q. We are usually using these two equations. Actually in generator also we can derive the equations for the powers, but we didn't derive that. We will be deriving in the actually that portion we didn't take actually. So in generator also we can derive the equation for the power, active power and reactive power. Now what we got for equation for P is actually this equation is similar to generator equation EMF V, voltage by XS, EV by XS into sine delta. This is the equation for active power, and we can say this will be maximum when delta equal to 90 degree. This equation will be maximum when delta equal to 90 degree. So when delta equal to 90 degree, this will be 1 and this EV by XS is P. So we can say this is P max, maximum power when delta equal to 90 degree. So P max. So we can simplify like this. We can write like this, P max into sine delta. Now this relation is always sinusoidal, relation between P versus delta. So what is power angle curve? Equation P versus delta. Relation between P and delta is known as power angle curve. So it will be a sinusoidal curve. That means delta equal to 0 means P equal to 0. Delta equal to 90 means P is maximum. And delta is 180, again it is 0. So one more point we have to note here is, this is the equation. Delta will be positive for generator. So P versus delta is sinusoidal. So you will be getting like this. Delta equal to 0 means delta equal to 0, P equal to 0. Delta equal to 90, P is maximum. Delta is 180, P equal to 0. So this will be sinusoidal. Now for motor it is negative. So we have to draw in this side actually. This is for generator. This curve is for generator, but this side for motor. So you will be drawing in this side, in this negative side. So in this side, delta is negative and it is sinusoidal only. So you will be getting a sinusoidal curve. Sinusoidal curve. So sinusoidal curve. And similar to this, torque also we can draw. Torque is P by omega, EV by X into omega into sin delta, tau max into sin delta. This is also sinusoidal. So and we will getting a sinusoidal curve like this. This side is representing the generator, this side is representing the motor. And up to 90 degree for generator and motor, for both, it will be stable, and beyond 90 degree it will be unstable. Those things you will be studying later. So this also very important. What is a power angle curve and how we are drawing for a synchronous motor. So you just remember this one. For a generator we will be drawing in the positive x-axis, and for a motor we will be drawing in the negative x-axis, because delta will become negative in case of a motor. So, and power also, we know that, because active power, if we are taking in a direction in case of a generator, for a motor the power flow will be just opposite, just reverse, because both are doing the just reverse things. So it will be just reverse, means it will be negative. So if you are taking a power in case of generator, if it is positive means power will be negative in case of a motor. So this is the power angle curve. So with this I am stopping here, and we will be continuing in the next class. Thank you.